Hello, and welcome to today's video. Today I am swatching Mischief Managed by Night Owl Lacquer. This is part of a duo based on Harry Potter. It is a parchment-colored crelly base with red to copper to gold flakes, charcoal flakes, and copper shimmer. I think this looks taupe overall. It very handily has a release date on the bottom, so I know I bought this in 2019. It is hard to believe how long ago that was. In the first coat, I think you will see how sheer the base is. In some ways, I look like I painted on some flakes without any base color, but it is there. The flakes are looking like a magenta into red and copper and gold. The shimmer isn't terribly obvious here, but I think you'll see it more in the full hand shots. But I will repeat myself. I have a hard time identifying the charcoal flakes, even more so than trying to find them in the previous polish. At no time in filming and reviewing the footage could I pick out a charcoal flake. I'm not doubting they're there. It's just that the brighter, flashier flakes make it hard to see anything more subtle. And there are so many of the brilliant flakes that the fight for attention is vicious. The first thing this reminded me of was the Hoopoe bird. What an astounding looking bird. The long head feathers remind me a little bit of a blue jay in that they can raise and lower their crest. Pair this with a black, a white, and a pumpkin orange. In the second coat, I think you can see the base building up, but it is still sheer, and even I don't often wear this in two coats. And I love a sheer polish. For me, it looks so opaque in the middle of the nail, but so sheer at the edges, and I just don't like that look for this polish. The base is very neutral, a pale brown with a bit of gray, and a slight yellow lean. You could alternatively call it a sand or a tan color, depending on the lighting. The volume of flakes I get in just two coats is evident in the footage. I can't imagine anyone would find it too sparse. When I bought these, I was still in a mindset that I didn't like red. I had wanted this parchment-colored polish, but not really the burgundy companion you saw in the previous video. But luckily for future me, I couldn't buy them individually. So I did grab the pair. And I have liked them both over the years. I do tend to wear them, specifically at Christmas. For the third coat, we're really just trying to get opacity. I could just barely see my nail line in two, and once the third coat goes on, I cannot see it anymore. The base color didn't deepen. In this lighting, the base is at its darkest color. It does look like a caramel color in the LEDs, more of a reddish brown because of the flakes. One of the things that popped to mind for this polish are Jedi Robes. They tend to be a variety of neutral earthy tones. I think the Padawan robes from the Acolyte are the closest to this color. I'm specifically thinking about Jeki's robes. Even so, maybe skip the Acolyte and go watch Andor. Now, I did manage to rumple both of my thumbs before I filmed my full hand shots. So if you notice they look different, I'm sorry. I only needed to put a second layer of top coat on this thumb. For the full sun shot, I am a little shaky. It does get better as we go along. When I'm over to my left and the window, you can see how warm the polish is pulled. For the first time, You can really see those gold and copper tones from the shimmer, and the red flakes are helping to pull everything more warm. At times, it can look a bit orange overall. As I move over to my right, you can see a little more of a gray cast from the base, making it a little more of a buff color. The base still has a light yellow tone, but the flakes are incandescently golden. The gold shimmer has tamed to more of a copper, and the flakes are more red as well. And there are some slight purple tones to the flakes, especially on my ring finger. We're doing another dappled light shot because I felt like this one showed the base color in a way that I hadn't captured otherwise. I start off near the window where we get some direct but oblique sun, and it looks very golden to copper with red speckles which can have a dab of pink near my fingertips. But as I move around to the left and into some shadows, you can see how much more gray the base looks, and those flakes tend to look a little bit more copper and muted. There are only hints of red. The other bird I thought of was the Cedar Waxwing. Its neutral tones are both slightly red and slightly yellow, so I think he's the best fit that I've found. A big group of them come through my yard twice a year while migrating. Because they love the tiny apples on my tree. And finally, the artificial light. There is a window in the distance. We start off near the incandescents, where the polish looks quite copper, with blooms of red flakes. I think you get to see how glowy all of the shimmer and flakes can be. There's still some gold from the shimmer. As I move around to the window on the right, the golden tones dim to more of an antique gold with a brassy tinge. The red flakes can look a little more brown, almost a cinnamon. The mountain plover is the honorable mention for color. There's something about their thin, delicate legs. Adorable. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe so I can string twine between the trees and lace tiny reeds between them to create a tiny elevated village for the squirrels. Please enjoy a clip of my black squirrel taking a peanut while making sure I'm behaving myself.